Right, this is second video on this, on learning how to solder and desolder on surface mounted devices and that. So I can solder, I think, pretty good on normal devices. On this I'm struggling. So I've learned a few things over the last couple of days. I haven't made videos every day because I'd rather make a video when I've got something to report back on. So I've watched a few videos, but I've watched guys repairing stuff, not necessarily explaining stuff. So some of the stuff I've had to learn the hard way and sort of go catch up, which is great. So number one, I've pulled off a few tracks. Let me show you. See if I can show you. The light is not so good. You can see there. There's one there, and I've pulled off a few tracks. Come on, Samsung, focus. There you go. Stay steady. Okay, so I've pulled off a few tracks there, the little pads there, and there's another one there somewhere. I've put the one IC back. I think it's that one there. Yeah, so I've started putting that IC back, but there's a little pad that's missing, and I've realized, let me get it to focus. Okay, maybe I've zoomed in too much and I'm holding the whole gimbal in my hand. Okay, so there you go. So the issue with all this is this. Before you desolder, you got to put in some flux. The reason for that is, and flux and solder, the reason is they use lead-free solder on these things. That complicates the whole thing because the lead obviously helps with the flow and whatever of solder at that temperature, whatever. So, and I'm going to show you guys now. I'm going to put the one IC back and I'm going to do all this. So, first of all, put some flux on, okay, and I'm going to show you guys quickly over here what I've done. So I've got a syringe, I've got a 3mm syringe, I think milliliter, yeah, syringe, a 3, yeah. I've used a little screwdriver to scoop the flux into there. I do have a needle in there. I put flux, I put solder, and then I take the IC off. So even though that one there, let me see if I can, that one there sort of a damaged little pads there. I'm still practicing on that, and it's good practice. I've got a lot of stuff to practice on the board. I've got a laptop for someone who's out the country. They lived with us to do some work, and now the thing's packed up. So I need to practice this carefully before I work on the laptop. I'm pretty sure I know what's wrong with the laptop. I just don't want to mess up the board, the tracks, and that sort of stuff. So let's take the step for step. Right, so we're going to start off like this. This is the solder station. I had it on and now I'll put it off again. Let's put it on like that. I don't know what temperatures. I've only seen odds and ends. I need to learn all that stuff. That's all warming up, and then we're going to move the phone and align everything so I can do some nice forming. That's going up to about 480. I've got solder wick, got my tweezers. I've got different nozzles here. Let me see, show you guys the different nozzles. There's the different nozzles. I've got the smallest one on there at the moment. I've got some propanol. I don't have a toothbrush or an earbud over here. Just got some toilet paper in the office, and that's I've practiced with that. Right, let me push pause here. Right, so you see, we're busy recording again, right. So that's this IC. I have removed it before. I don't know if this is going to be the best example, but I'm going to show you guys. So I've got the board stuck down here with tape to the, with duct tape. Let me put my lenses in, my extra glasses here. And I'm going for new glasses today. We go for the eye test and all that. So there we go. We put, so it's like a nice syringe. If need be, I'll zoom in this in production. I don't want to do much editing. I want to keep it raw to show the experience. See, I've moved it so you can see it's loose. But in any case, let's just give you guys an idea. There's the flux. Okay, so we can solder and desolder, we can play along over here as much as we'd like. Remember, I'm learning this, so feel free to correct me and to wind me up and whatever. And okay, so one first, and I'll do another IC just now for you to show you guys. So one first does that. Okay, one applies some solder. Okay, the whole thing is now all wrong, but doesn't matter. Okay, first, okay, so it's all loose. Okay, in any case. Okay, so that thing's gone there. So the other thing is I lifted pads with the little pads, the little pads. You see there, and there, right. And I'll show you guys, I'll share a lot of stuff with you guys. Then, I need my soldering iron. Let's put that on. Okay, let's put that on. Right, let's go. That's on over there. Okay, that's the other difficulty I had. Let me cut the tip of the... So there are different solder wicks, cheap ones and more expensive ones. We got a piece of cheap one here somewhere. Yeah, let me pause this quickly. Okay, here it is. Thank you. Right. Still in a little bag. Hope you guys can see this. I've got a little helmet with the lenses falling on my face. I don't have a microscope yet. I will get one. Okay, so this is the cheaper one. That's it. Oh, the cheaper one. The soldering iron. I'm not a big fan of the soldering iron. To me, it's I'm used to stronger stuff. Okay, so here we go. Where is it? Okay, so here again we need to put flux. All these lenses in. Okay, so now we put some more flux. There's still enough flux on the board, it's still nice and wet. Put some more on there. Hopefully, as I'm making cup over here, somebody else will learn from it. Right, today. Okay, so now, this is where I made a mistake when I didn't film. This is the cheap solder wick, so we don't know what that's going to be. So there we go. Okay, it's melting. And because there's flux, I can drag it along. I know they say don't drag it along. So you see there, because keep the soldering iron, there's it. In the solder tip. Because there's flux, I can drag it along. There we go. Okay, I must actually, let me cut it off. Let me cut off the tip. Yeah, the other one is a little bit better, I think. But I made a lot of cut over here now. Right, let me see. Put this down. Okay. There we go. See, now I'm making cut. You know what? The other solder wig is better. There's the difference. Right, that's there. Right, let's put some more flux on here. Some more flux on there. This is a better quality solder wig. It does suck up a lot better. And I've got this soldering iron turned up to 180. Right, let's go. Any case. I just left with another pad because I think we need to start a new IC. I'll show this in any case. This board is crap, so guys don't worry about that. I'll start another IC, and then to be more difficult could be a bigger one. And I'm going to try to do the ones with the maybe that one there. It's going to be very difficult, a lot of small pins, but I've got to learn somehow. Thanks guys, thanks for watching with.